LK-99, the quest for a room temperature superconductor. Why in news? A group of South Korean scientists have recently claimed the discovery of a material they named LK-99. According to their reports, LK-99 is a superconductor at room temperature and pressure. This groundbreaking claim has piqued the interest of the scientific community and could potentially revolutionize the world of electrical conductivity and technology. What does the claim on discovery of LK-99 suggest? Exploring apatite materials, the South Korean group's discovery involved a rather unexpected material called apatite. Apatites are minerals with a phosphate scaffold in a tetrahedral or pyramidal motif. One phosphorus atom is surrounded by 4 oxygen atoms. The scientists started with lead apatite and substituted some of the lead atoms with copper, resulting in copper-substituted lead apatite, which they named LK-99. Evidence of superconductivity. The group reported that at 10% copper substitution, LK-99 exhibited the characteristics of a superconductor. The material also maintains superconductivity in the presence of an external magnetic field, up to a certain critical threshold, a behavior consistent with known superconductors. The implications of LK-99. If the claims of LK-99 being a room temperature superconductor are confirmed, it could usher in a new era for electrical conductivity and technology. The widespread application of superconductors in everyday devices could lead to increased energy efficiency, reduced power losses, and the development of revolutionary technologies. What are superconductors? About superconductors are materials that exhibit zero electrical resistance when cooled to extremely low temperatures. This property allows them to conduct electricity with no loss of energy. Example: lanthanum-barium copper oxide, yttrium-barium copper oxide, niobium tin, etc. Discovery. In 1911, Kamerling once discovered that the electrical resistance of mercury completely disappeared at temperatures a few degrees above absolute zero. The phenomenon became known as superconductivity. Applications of superconductors. Energy transmission. Superconducting cables can transmit electricity without losses, making them ideal for long-distance power transmission. Magnetic resonance imaging. MRI superconducting magnets are used in MRI machines to create strong and stable magnetic fields, enabling detailed medical imaging. Particle accelerators. Superconducting magnets are crucial components in particle accelerators like the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, allowing particles to reach high velocities. Electric motors and generators. Superconducting materials can enhance the efficiency and power density of electric motors and generators. Maglev trains. Superconducting magnets enable magnetic levitation, maglev, trains to float above tracks, reducing friction and enabling high-speed travel. Quantum computing. Some superconducting materials are being explored for their potential in quantum computing due to their ability to exhibit quantum states. POCSO Act. Why in news? Recently, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has informed the Lok Sabha that the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, POCSO Act, 2012, is one of the crucial legislations enacted by the government to protect children from sexual abuse. What is the POCSO Act? About. POCSO Act came into effect on 14 November 2012, which was enacted in consequence to India's ratification of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child in 1992. The aim of this special law is to address offences of sexual exploitation and sexual abuse of children, which were either not specifically defined or inadequately penalized. The Act defines a child as any person below the age of 18 years. The Act provides punishment as per the gravity of offense. The Act was further reviewed and amended in 2019 to introduce more stringent punishment, including the death penalty for committing sexual crimes on children, with a view to deter the perpetrators and prevent such crimes against children. The Government of India has also notified the POCSO Rules 2020. Features: gender-neutral nature. The Act recognizes that both girls and boys can be victims of sexual abuse and that such abuse is a crime regardless of the gender of the victim. This is in line with the principle that all children have the right to protection from sexual abuse and exploitation, and that law should not discriminate based on gender. Ease in reporting cases. There is sufficient general awareness now to report cases of sexual exploitation of children not only by individuals but also by institutions, as non-reporting has been made a specific offense under the POCSO Act. This has made it comparatively difficult to hide offenses against children. Explicit definition of terms. The storage of child pornography material has been made a new offense. Further, the offense of sexual assault has been defined in explicit terms, with increased minimum punishment, unlike an abstract definition of outraging modesty of a woman in the Indian Penal Code. POCSO Rules 2020. Interim compensation and special relief. Rule 9 of the POCSO rules allows the special court to order interim compensation for the child's needs related to relief or rehabilitation after the FIR's registration. This compensation is adjusted against the final compensation, if any. Immediate payment of special relief. Under the POCSO rules, the Child Welfare Committee, CWC, may recommend immediate payment for essential needs like food, clothes, and transportation, using funds from the District Legal Services Authority, DLSA, the District Child Protection Unit, DCPU, or funds maintained under the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. The payment must be made within a week of receiving the CWC's recommendation. Support person for the child. The POCSO rules empower the CWC to provide a support person to assist the child throughout the investigation and trial process. The support person is responsible for ensuring the child's best interests, including physical, emotional, and mental well-being, access to medical care, counseling, and education. They also inform the child and their parents or guardians about court proceedings and developments related to the case. Note: in furtherance to the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, Department of Justice has started a centrally sponsored scheme in October 2019 for setting up of a total of 1023 fast-track special courts, FTSCs, including 389 exclusive POCSO courts across the country. As on 31st May 2023, a total of 758 FTSCs, including 412 exclusive POCSO, e-POCSO, courts are functional in 29 states UTs across the country. What are the issues and challenges with the POCSO Act? Issue with the investigation. Low representation of women in the police force. The POCSO Act provides for recording the statement of the affected child by a woman sub-inspector at the child's residence or place of choice. But it is practically impossible to comply with this provision when the number of women in the police force is just 10%, and many police stations hardly have women staff. Lapses in the investigation. Though there is a provision to record statements using audio-video means, however, there are still reports of lapses in the investigation and preservation of crime scenes in some cases. In Shafi Muhammad versus the State of Himachal Pradesh, 2018, the Supreme Court held in cases of heinous crimes, it is the duty of the investigating officer to photograph and videograph the scene of crime and to preserve the same as evidence. No examination by judicial magistrates. Another provision of the Act mandates the recording of the statement of the prosecutrix by a judicial magistrate. Though such statements are recorded in most cases, judicial magistrates are neither called for cross-examination during trial nor are those who retract their statement punished. In such a scenario, such statements get nullified. Issue of age determination. Though age determination of a juvenile delinquent is guided by the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, no such provision exists under the POCSO Act for juvenile victims. In Jarnail Singh vs. State of Haryana, 2013 case, the SC held that the given statutory provision should also be the basis to help determine age even for a child who is a victim of crime. However, in absence of any change in the law or even specific directions, the investigating officers, IOs, continue to rely on the date of birth recorded in school admission withdrawal registers. Delays in the filing of charges. As per the POCSO Act, the investigation of a case under the Act is to be completed within a period of 1 month from the date of the commission of the offence, or from the date of the reporting of the offence. However, in practice, the completion of investigation often takes longer than 1 month due to various reasons such as lack of adequate resources, delays in obtaining forensic evidence, or the complexity of the case. No conditions to prove recent intercourse. Courts are required to presume that the accused committed the offence under the POCSO Act. The POCSO Act does not impose any conditions on the prosecution, contrary to the Indian Evidence Act, which clearly requires the prosecution to establish recent intercourse, as well as the consent of the prosecutrix. However, it has been observed that even after the minor age of the victim is proved, no such presumption is taken up by the court during trial. Under such circumstances, the expected increase in the conviction rate is unlikely to be achieved. What are the initiatives to curb child abuse? Child Abuse Prevention and Investigation Unit. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. The Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015. Child Marriage Prohibition Act 2006. Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 2016. POCSO courts under special fast-track courts. Way forward. The government should provide adequate resources such as funding and personnel to investigating agencies handling POCSO cases. This will help to ensure that investigations are conducted in a timely and efficient manner. Investigating officers should be provided with proper training on the handling of POCSO cases. This can include training on the proper techniques for collecting and preserving evidence, interviewing child victims and witnesses, and the legal requirements of the POCSO Act. Setting up special courts for POCSO cases can help to ensure that cases are handled promptly and efficiently. This will also help to speed up the trial process, which can be important for the victim and their family. UPSC Civil Services Examination Previous Year Question, PYQ. Carbon capture and storage. Why in news? The UK government has reasserted its commitment to advancing projects aimed at capturing and storing carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions as a crucial component of its strategy to achieve net zero emissions. What is carbon capture and storage, CCS? About. It is a process designed to mitigate the emissions of carbon dioxide, CO2, generated from industrial processes and the burning of fossil fuels, particularly in power plants. The goal of CCS is to prevent a significant amount of CO2 from entering the atmosphere and contributing to global warming and climate change. Approaches: carbon capture and storage, CCS, encompasses two primary approaches. The first method is known as point source CCS, which involves capturing CO2 directly at the site of its production, such as industrial smokestacks. The second method, direct air capture, DAC, focuses on removing CO2 that has already been emitted into the atmosphere. The recent UK initiatives specifically target point source CCS. Mechanisms of point source CCS. The process of carbon capture and storage encompasses several distinct steps, each contributing to the effective containment of CO2 emissions. Capture: CO2 is isolated from other gases generated during industrial processes or power generation. Compression and transportation: once captured, CO2 is compressed and transported to designated storage sites, frequently through pipelines. Injection: the CO2 is then injected into subterranean rock formations, often situated at depths of 1 kilometer or more, where it remains stored for extended periods, sometimes lasting decades. Applications: mineralization: captured carbon can be reacted with certain minerals to form stable carbonates, which can be stored safely underground or used in construction materials. This process, known as mineral carbonation, offers a long-term and secure method of carbon storage. Synthetic fuels: captured CO2 can be combined with hydrogen, often produced via electrolysis using renewable energy, to produce synthetic fuels such as synthetic natural gas, synthetic diesel, or even synthetic jet fuel. Greenhouses and indoor agriculture: captured carbon dioxide can be supplied to greenhouses and indoor farming facilities to enhance plant growth. Dry ice production: captured carbon dioxide can be used to produce dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide at extremely low temperatures. Dry ice has various applications, including shipping and transportation of perishable goods, medical and scientific purposes, and special effects in the entertainment industry. Note: in India, two national centers of excellence in carbon capture and utilization are being established. National Center of Excellence in Carbon Capture and Utilization, NCOECCU, at Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, Bombay, Mumbai. National Center in Carbon Capture and Utilization, NCCCU, at Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, JNCSR, Bangalore. Challenges: cost and economics. CCS involves high initial capital costs for building capture, transportation, and storage infrastructure. The cost of capturing CO2 from flue gases or industrial processes can be significant, affecting the overall viability of CCS projects. Geological storage suitability. Identifying and securing suitable geological formations for long-term CO2 storage is a challenge. Not all geological formations are appropriate for CO2 storage due to potential risks of leakage or seismic activity. extended lifespan of fossil fuel companies, certain environmental organizations raise concerns regarding the effectiveness of CSS, suggesting that its implementation might unintentionally prolong the operational viability of fossil fuel companies. This potential consequence could inadvertently hinder the speed of transitioning to more sustainable and cleaner energy sources. Way forward. Natural climate solutions integration. Combining CCS with natural climate solutions can enhance its effectiveness. Embracing initiatives like reforestation, afforestation, and sustainable land management can complement CCS efforts by sequestering carbon naturally, promoting biodiversity, and enhancing ecosystem resilience. International collaboration and knowledge sharing. To address global climate challenges, countries must collaborate and share knowledge and expertise in CCS. Establishing international forums, research partnerships, and technology sharing initiatives can accelerate the development and adoption of innovative carbon capture solutions. Balancing CCS and emission reduction for climate action. The United Nations report underscores CCS's potential to align with the Paris Agreement's market-based mechanisms like carbon trading through carbon credits. However, it emphasizes that emission prevention remains paramount. An inclusive climate strategy mandates both carbon capture technology adoption and proactive emission reduction to effectively address climate change. In terms of nationally determined contribution, India now stands committed to reduce emissions intensity of its GDP by 45% by 2030. UPSC Civil Services Examination, Previous Year Questions, PYQs,